man of mystery now, Pedro. That is what you are. Then we had Matt. I still have that thing emblazoned on my mind, and I'm still, yeah, that was ugly, but it was compelling. I was sitting there staring at it the whole time, like, what is it? You know, it was that effect where the fly keeps flying into the bright flashing light, no matter what, right into his death. So I was like, I just wanted to go up to it and just run right into it. But anyways, and then we had Jerry's speech. He did a little dance, a little Gangnam style. He had, it was like almost like they coordinated that because he pulled it open and just like the thing. And then now here's me. I don't have a speech. You're all sitting there going, what is this guy going to talk about? But you know what? I got nothing. But no, so honestly, we've gone through a long election campaign with our president. And I think we're all had the ads, the promises, the politicians, the TV spots, and just when you thought it was all over, the best election is yet to come. Here in Doral Toastmasters, twice a year we elect officers. And Alejandro gave a great intro where he said that your officers come in and they do a lot behind the scenes so that you can come here on Thursday mornings. You know, you have a schedule set, you have themes. You have people taking care of everything that's going on behind the scenes, and that's a very critical role that we don't see. And it's very important that we fill those roles when we step in to take those roles. And that's what we're going to do now going into this election season. So December will make the 6 month mark for the officers who have been serving. So we're going to move forward and elect new officers and go in whatever direction in which they take us, but we have confidence and then we vote. But that being said, I sort of ask you to take this seriously, to think about it, not just who you're going to vote for, but also for you to step up and take roles, because a big part of Toastmasters, the Toastmasters experience is really the selling point is speeches. So you come up, you work on your public speaking confidence, all those other things, but another big part of that as well is leadership. And leading this sort of nonprofit organization presents its own challenges that you might not get in your work environment, or you might not get in whatever other leadership experiences you've had. So I challenge everybody to really dig down deep, think about it, run for that position if you're thinking about running for anything, and we'll get moving with our election. So, but before we do that, I kind of want to lay out what the next few minutes is going to be like. So we're going to have every single officer stand up and give you a brief explanation of what they do. That way you are clear on what every position is and what positions are out there. From that point forward, I'm going to call up Matt, and Matt is overseeing our nomination process. So we're going to go through, some people have already identified what role they want to run for, but we have every single position is available. Whatever position it is that you want to run for, you think you're qualified for, I'm telling you, I'm asking you please to just step up, take the challenge, make the next step, and be a part of this club in a little more integral level of process so that you take on the responsibilities of maintaining the club and managing it. And then we will go from there. We will have our campaign, the people who are trying to come into the next positions or are the running, what is the word I'm looking for?
Good job.
The candidates. Our candidates. So we'll have our candidates for the upcoming election, and then we will move forward from there. We'll have a 2-week sort of campaign season, so we're not going to have TV spots, we're not going to be, you're not going to get flyers plastered on wherever it is, vote for me, whatever. But during the next meeting, we will have a brief opportunity, if you so choose to, you can give a little speech or give a minute or so, and then we'll have the December 20th meeting. We will come in, we'll have our final words from our candidates, we will vote, we will elect our new executive officer board, and then we will have a sort of Christmas enjoy. Silvana's in charge of that, so whatever she has planned for us to do, there might be speaking, there might be dancing, who knows, but it's all up to her. But we will have 40 minutes of good time where we can spend together in communion after a year, and we can sort of enjoy some time with our Toastmasters family in that sort of Christmas ambiance and environment. So, without further ado, I will start off as we're giving you what the role of president does. And as president, you're really sort of the manager of the whole operation. You don't really have a specific role as far as, hey, I have to make sure that I fill these slots. I don't have to make sure that the budget is right. I just have to sort of manage to make sure everything is good. And luckily, for me, we've had an amazing leadership team, so my job has been pretty easy. I just have to make sure that everything flows smoothly. But you also have to set sort of the vision for the club, make sure we are moving towards that vision, and you also have to set a plan for the club and make sure we're moving towards that plan. So we have, 8 out of 10 distinguished club president points. So you just have to make sure that, you know, as you go along, you oversee that process, you manage it, and it's streamlined, the club is moving in the direction you want it to move, and it is sort of fulfilling that vision. You have to make sure the experience for every Toastmaster who comes in here on a weekly basis is such of what you have said or what you have set forth for the club itself. So that is really what you do as president, is sort of a manager. And now I will turn it over to our Vice President of Education, Jerry Radigan, to give you a short blurb on what he does.
Vice President of Education is a CEO, Chief Experience Officer. You are responsible for creating an exciting event to get people to come back each and every week and help them along their journey to competent communication and competent leadership. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes. There's a balance between club goals and individual member goals. Sometimes they're together and sometimes they're in conflict. And that's where you have to be a relationship manager. There could be times where there is an individual that wants to go from 0 to 100 miles an hour and finish the Toastmaster program in 3.5 days. Well, that is possible, but that's at the detriment of everyone else. So that's where a balance comes in. And for those of you that have the ability to understand people and relate to people and communicate the president's vision, are those that are successful in this process. I love Excel, so I've tracked everything in Excel, created elaborate spreadsheets, but that wasn't sustainable. So the next individual, what I've done, I've created a visual aid, a tracking schedule, as well as a record book. My wife's a teacher, so I have stolen some of their process. So
I like the stars.
So everyone in class has certain projects which are what's up here. So it's not as time consuming as what I've put into it. But what matters is that we're aware of the progress of where each member is in the process. And just as I wrap up, the important thing for our chapter and the recognition in the area and division, the Distinguished Club Point system, there's 10, there's certain educational awards and other administrative items that we get credit for, but the personal members, a lot of it has to do with tracking. A lot of people, if you put the onus on the individual to track, it potentially could be lost. People sometimes don't bring their books, so that's where the VPE, it's an easy way if you just keep track, and that's what I've done here to make it fun for everyone and keep the spirit up and creating themes. And I think we've come a long way in the past 6 months, so I am looking forward to the next 6 months with whoever takes over that role. And I'll turn it over back to Robert.